when I've gotten involved in the arts, I started to think like, what is it that I can bring to this field that I'm an expert or have a specialty at? And I realized that sports was that thing that wasn't often, you didn't see it a lot in art, and it's something that I knew. So yes, I went to Sonoma State University in California through a baseball recruitment to play baseball for the team, and did that for a few years and was balancing that with, playing in bands and things like that. And anyway, I finished all of my undergraduate level coursework, and at the same time decided that I was going to hang up the cleats and baseball was over. So I went to my advisor and I asked my advisor about, what do I do? And his advice was to just take a day and walk around campus and go in and out of every building, every classroom, everything, and just find a place that you want to spend the next 2 years in. Because Sonoma State was a good school, but it wasn't a great school. So either way, you're going to have to go to get a graduate degree. And so it doesn't really matter. And so I found myself in the art department where I saw people making paintings and listening to good music. And I realized that that was the place for me. So I found myself in a transition from baseball into art. So even in my life drawing courses, I oftentimes was in a baseball uniform in there with infield dirt on one leg and charcoal on the other. Yeah, I mean, I think the early work I was doing, imagining coming from the baseball team into the art program, a lot of pictures of people playing sports, right? And I realized pretty quickly that wasn't, I'm not Leroy Neiman, that wasn't gonna float, right? As a critical practice of any kind at that time, right? So I found ways to use systems and chance. I learned about John Cage and his use of chance. He used a thing called the I Ching, which is basically like rolling dice, giving you a randomized number between 1 and 64. And I thought about that method and I applied it to sporting events. So I would take baseball games and basketball games and football games and find out all the things that can happen in those games and create scores and systems so that things that happened in the game would tell me without a choice of my own what and where to make marks on paper. And that's how it started. So I started listening to games and in real time making drawings that were outside of my control. And so that was a good combination of, my love of sports and as an athlete and as an artist, right? I mean, both involve a lot of like self-discipline, a lot of rules, a lot of gameplay, and the outcome, like in like a good game, the outcome is unknown ahead of time.